What is up, folks? Welcome back to another live stream repair. Oh boy, we got a lot here today. Let's see. Oh yes, perfect. We are going to take a look here first at Edwin's bricked HomePod. No Stefan, no music today. We're gonna look at Edwin's HomePod first. Not next, first. Edwin is a brick. Let's see what that does for us here while we get the rest of the names up on the screen. We've got Lighthouse Painting after this. And then, oh yeah, they've got no power. And then we've got James, no power. 3646, no power. Todd, no power. Gary, no power. 3629. Yes, no power. And then Aaron. Looks like they've got some base issues. And then 3514 is a brick. And then 3622, Nom with no power. Goodness, we need two lines there. There we go. Let's get this fixed up. Get ourselves all centered and situated. And get our camera focused. Shoot a few emails. We've got Edwin first. So let's let them know. Also, welcome Stefan, and welcome Shuffle Hands, welcome back. And then we'll let Lighthouse Painting know they're up next. Alright. Oh, I love it. We've got the blinkies here. Nothing but blinking volume buttons for this HomePod. Perfect. So, we don't know if it's a hardware issue or a software issue that's causing this, although looking at the base of this, of course, someone else has been in here and already tried this. Let's see if we already knew this. I see no mention of anybody having tried to restore the software on this already. So we're in for a treat here. We're going to connect our handy dandy 3D printable USB adapter. Looking good. We'll grab our glorified text messaging / HomePod software fixing machine. And let's see what we're looking for here. I need my terminal. I need Apple configurator. I need my brightness up all the way. I need you guys zoomed in so you can see what I'm doing. Ish. If it ever feels like focusing on what I'm... Good grief. Whatever. Let's try this. We'll plug the USB cable in. Plug power into the HomePod and let's see, we'll pwn it, reset it, and attempt a restore with the current latest version software, signed version of the software, which is 18.4.1. Can we get that any more readable? So most hardware issues tend to make this fail pretty early on. We'll see if we get a restore progress. Looking good so far. We've gotten past most of the steps that fail with hardware issues. So I do believe, yes, it looks like it's working. So we'll give this another 10-20 minutes in the background to continue restoring. I'm going to put this down to the side. And we're going to break out the next HomePod while we're waiting for that. Excuse me. Do a little bit of multitasking here. Excuse me. So, up next here we've got lighthouse painting. Let's get... Oh, goodness. Let's get their name up on the screen. Next to Edwin. No room here. They've got no power though. Let's see what we've got. No lights, no power, sure enough. A couple of watts at the wall over here, sure. That all looks like the usual dead diode issue. So let's go ahead and work on Lighthouse Paintings pod while Edwin's HomePod finishes that software restore. That's what I thought. It is a little cracked on the top, but that probably has nothing to do with their issues. Nope, we won't be painting any lighthouses here. I mean, lighthouse painting might paint lighthouses. I'm not actually sure what if that's their business name or if that's just for fun. There we go. What's our restore progress at for Edwin's HomePod? Oh, it's already at 50%. Cover your ears. This is going to get loud for a second. Oof. Very dusty. Chris says, we paint everything. Oh, beautiful. So be it a lighthouse or a house, look up lighthouse painting for all the painting needs you might need. Of course, if you need a HomePod painted, you might want to hit me up, but I'd be willing to partner with someone if they can show me some good results. I'm just kidding. Totally different beast. Subwoofer smells just fine, nothing to worry about there. You never know if a HomePod's got more than one issue going on and the no power's what made them really send it in. What are we at? Like 90% on Edwin's software restore? It's getting close. Alright. We've got their amplifier board out. Let's get up close and do a little bit of work here. We're gonna knock out the maintenance first. Mostly just these 4 filters. Love to go bad and cause death farts and all sorts of bass issues over time. You'll see probably a HomePod or 2 on today's stream where they already went bad. Not that they look any different, but... there we go. Sometimes you just gotta give it a good smack. That's one way to get them off. Very nice. 4 fresh new filters to keep the farts away. Now let's get, well, this junk out of here. It looks like Edwin has finished restoring. Let's flip that back around. Plug it back into power and let it work its magic for just another minute. Should spring right to life here in just a minute. Let's get this 46K dated dead diode out of here. That's what failed and causes our no power issues. For no reason other than a bad batch of these diodes floating around out there, so a new one will prevent the same thing from happening again. There it is. Okay, so the plan with Edwin's HomePod then is to test it overnight and make sure that it wasn't a hardware issue that caused it to break itself. Sure, it might have succeeded with a USB software restore, but the software might have gone bad because of a hardware issue underlying anyways. So we want to make sure that we don't send this back without knowing as best as we can. And Lighthouse Paintings stuff here is looking good, so here's what we'll do. We'll get this dock off this HomePod and make up some space. We will note that it is ready for testing, and then if it passes testing, then we'll crack it open for the hardware maintenance that they asked for on our next stream. Okay. And before we put this one back together, we're going to let James know that they're coming up next here. James with no power. It's going to be number 3640. That was a text, so let me grab out the $3,000 text messenger and let him know. That was that phone number, which of course isn't in my history. That's okay. They'll figure it out one day. Alright. Back together you go. Let's see, we got, yeah, there's more chat than I've kept up with. You can rightfully say I'm ignoring the chat. Feel free to tell me. I see a Kurt in the chat. Welcome back, Kurt. I see people talking about 3D printers. I love me a good 3D printer. Stefan not paying attention. I already said we're not, we're passing on the music today. Tisk tisk. Oh, and then people calling me out for not reading the chat. Yeah, there you go. Rightfully so. Well, I'm passing up on the music because, frankly, I'm not really in the mood to listen to other people's music or being told what to play. And I don't really want to fiddle with queuing up a bunch of music with how much we gotta work on today. Don't get me wrong, I would love to work with music going in the background, but it's not worth the effort for more than half the audience not wanting me to do it. Not today. Maybe I'll just make my own music for this stream. How about that? Tim cooked. No, I won't make a rap album. I'll make an EP that is like a different genre for every song. Except for country. I don't do country. I'll do bluegrass. I'll do independent folk music. I won't do country. Grew up around it, can't stand it. Old stuff in the mud. It's okay. My robot fart music sounds all the same obnoxious to other people. To each their own taste, right? But still. Old stuff in the mud. Got my hat on backwards. I don't know. It's either that or I go for the beat loops. All of it sounds great on the HomePod, of course. I'll take listening to country music on a HomePod over listening to my favorite music on a crappy speaker. There we go. We got some power for lighthouse painting. My body is a machine that turns this to this. I will admit it. I mean, I'm a sucker for John Denver. I mean, my mom would play it all the time too. But I like John Denver. I got nothing against him. You won't catch me like casually. You won't catch me casually playing any of his music, but I'm not gonna get offended. Here we go. We've got James's HomePod here with no power. Who's coming up after James? It's gonna be 3646. Do we have enough room to make this one line now? Yes. Alright, let's let 3646 know that they're up next. Okay, what's James got here? No lights, no power, a couple of watts from the wall. That's going to be the usual dead diode on the amplifier board, I'm betting ya. Let's get this fixed. What keyboard? Oh yeah, no, this is the Tex Shura. If you just look up Tex keyboards, T-E-X, look up their keyboards, you'll find them. They've got a few cool options. Johnny Cash, Linda Ronstadt, and Motown. Not too bad. I had, I grew up with, you know, of course, the John Denver, the Johnny Cash, the Ozzy Osbourne, the AC/DC, Def Leppard, Led Zeppelin, Leonard Skinner, you know, the classic rocks. And then my mom was absolutely obsessed with Weird Al Yankovic. Man, I even got to go and see him a couple of times when I was a kid. There was a show that he ended up coming out into the crowd and sitting on my mom's lap and giving her his scarf that he was wearing during the show, and she still has it. That was like freaking 30 years ago by now, or over 30 years ago by now. And then of course my mom listened to all sorts of stuff like Bowling for Soup and Green Day and Motley Crue, Alice in Chains. One of my favorites ended up being Queensryche. Oh man, and their shows, I got to see Queensryche live. I got to see Operation Mindcrime. Queensryche's one of, in my opinion, Queensryche's best album ever. But I got to see that live. What a show! I got to see Bowling for Soup live. That was an very entertaining show. Alice in Chains was a phenomenal show. They put on a great show even in 2024 when I saw them last. Then you've got, oh gosh, who else have I seen? Oh yeah, Good Charlotte. My mom was a huge fan of them and would play their music all the time. Of course, once I got my hands on my own MP3 player and means of acquiring my own music, I would download a whole bunch of Weird Al and all sorts of classic rock and whatever techno I could get my hands on in hard style. You know, like Daft Punk and Chemical Brothers, and who else was there? There's Eric Prydz. There was Justice. And then the more hard style artists, you had like Vinyl Shakers and well, I guess Benny Benassi's not hard style at all. He's just kind of more bass techno. I don't know. EDM gets into whole weird millions of different specific genres. And now I listen to stuff like Flume and JPEG Mafia. Their new songs, I love that. That's awesome. That's funny. That's great. It's beautiful. And Hudson Mohawk's one of my top favorites too. Not a huge fan of people that expect me to text them back immediately. I'll get to it when I can get to it. My phone is not a front door to take my attention. Whenever you please. Oh yes, and how could I forget about Eminem? My mom would play Eminem with me and my two sisters in the back of the car. And I'm like 13. My one of my sisters is like 11, and the other one's like 6 or 7, and she's playing Eminem's latest hit album, which of course is I think it was called Curtain Call or something like that. I don't remember. Alright, we're going to do a little bit of maintenance. First, our fart filters here. These 4 filtering capacitors. Naturally, or due to quality control issues, being used or not, they love to go bad over time. And they'll cause death farts and all sorts of base issues. So we're going to get ahead of that. Take away one of the most common reasons HomePods come into us for repair, even though they're still good now. I don't trust how long they might last. I've fixed plenty of these in the past where we tested the filters and we only replaced them if they were bad. And sometimes we'd catch ones that were bad even though that was a completely unrelated issue. But we started seeing ones that we didn't replace the filters on start to go bad, and I was like, yeah, I'd rather not have to take all these back even though they have nothing to do with our repair. It still kind of looks bad when you fix one issue and then it's got another issue a few months down the road. And then you're like, oh yeah, we know all about that issue. You can send it back in and we'll charge you the same price to fix it up again. And it's like, why didn't you just do that when you had it? Well, and you can't do that for everything. Yeah, I mean, you can't just use that logic and say, okay, anytime you see anything go bad on any of these HomePods, you should replace that part in every HomePod. You kind of have to figure out what commonly goes bad and what's kind of more of a one-off. Sometimes that's just a matter of taking in as many as you can and fixing as many and learning over time. Apple's not going to tell us the numbers. Whatever. We're at the dead diode. This is what went bad and causes their power issue. We'll get that replaced with a bigger, better, brand new one that won't fail again. Oh, someone was asking what this was. This is a flashlight. It's a little clippy flashlight. Mike sent it to us. I do not know, Stefan. I think that is a question better suited for the old Google. I think probably not unless it's medically necessary. There we go. And 3646 is coming up here with Todd up next.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet.
Let's see if we can't get those volume buttons lined up a little better. Stefan's just being 16 years old. Don't worry about him. All right, one more time here. Tell me something. Wake up. Wake up, wake up.
I'm having trouble.
There we go. All right. I am very happy with that. Let's move on to 3646. After that is Todd. Let's see. 3646. No power. Is that so? Is that true? Why, yes it is. No lights, no power, no nothing. A couple of watts from the wall. That looks like the usual dead diode. Let's get it fixed. That felt a little too easy. Like, definitely no one's outside of Apple opened to this before, but I almost wonder if this one was taken apart by them at one point. Interesting, Stefan. For those wondering what that liquid is, it's Tim Cook's Tears. It makes us a great solvent for breaking the glue holding this basket down. Makes it easier for us when we go to pry it up. Who knew Tim's Tears were made of 99% isopropyl alcohol? Every HomePod we fix, he sheds another tear. And we've fixed thousands of them by now, so we've got plenty of rubbing alcohol for these to fix more. Don't believe me? It says it right here. 99% Tim's Tears. Here we go. And another one, let's get up close. Let's do a little bit of maintenance first. Those 4 filters, you know it, they love to go bad. They love to cause death farts and bass issues. Let's prevent it. Why not 100%? Why 99%? Because, well, the 1%'s water. %C, 50% we. Okay, you jackwagon. Stay. There we go. Beautiful, yes. Ooh, that was a close call right there. Almost lost it. And let's get our dead diode replaced. There it is, the infamous 48K date code. And just like that, ready to put back together. That's a good one, Stefan. I'm gonna have to steal that. You want a hoverboard? I, for one, love hoverboards. I've got a couple of them myself. I have some I stole from work. I've got a couple of the self-balancing scooters. I've got a couple of the full stand-up ones with the handlebars, like the full-on Segways. Work just buys them, uses them for a few months, and then never charges them. The batteries go dead and they throw them away. And I always take them and fix them back up and keep them for myself. I took one apart so that I could take the motors and the battery and the controller and stick it on a shopping cart so that I could have like a shopping cart that I could ride around in. Never got around to finishing that. Maybe I'll do that one day. Maybe if I get to 3,000 subscribers, I'll give away a HomePod and have like a big old video where I do something exciting like that. Something totally not HomePod related for once here. My work is your typical small startup tech bro job kind of thing. So of course we've got Segways for people to horse around the office on, and you know other perks and things to draw people into working in the office. You got your coffee, you got your Costco snacks and frozen meals. You got beverages. You got Segways and hoverboards. You got the conference room Xbox. You're good to go. Get your employees a couple of monitors and a fancy standing desk, and they'll come in a couple days a week at least. Usually. Not like awful tech bros. We're a bunch of it's a bunch of nerds. Not bad tech bros. Everybody's just involved in one way or another with technology. Somewhat of an expert with it. Or at least good enough to support our company's software for customers. Is 7 figures enough for a family of 1? It should be. I mean, I'm barely getting by with 6. Wait, a family of 1. So by yourself, or are you talking about you having 1 kid? Family of 1. 7 figures. You should be alright. That sounds like a dual income, no kids kind of situation. You're living it. Dinkwad is a dual income, no kids. Nothing wrong with that. Alright, Todd.
I'm having trouble connecting.
Perfect. I said perfect! Alright, before we move on to Todd's here, we're going to take just a quick minute break, grab a snack, grab a bathroom. We will be right back. Alright, welcome back. We're going to take a look here now at Todd's HomePod with no power. After that, we're going to look at Gary. So, what's going on with Todd? No lights, no power. That was kind of interesting. It took a second for that power figure to jump up, but it did. It looks like the usual dead diode, so let's find out and get it fixed. You guys won a car show award? What car did you show? Also, congrats. Congratulations. (1951) Ford Coupe. Ooh, with the 327. I don't know my old motors as much as the cars themselves. That's good right there. My grandpa loves his 1936 Ford Coupe. He's been having a shop rebuild my 1959 Chevrolet Impala. I can't wait to get that back. That's going to be one heck of a car. That's going to be a big winga-dinga. Oops. We throw those foam subwoofer gaskets in the trash. Every single one of those foam subwoofer gaskets, we peel it out and we replace it with a solid rubber one when we go to put this all back together. Here we go. A set of new filters first, and then we'll flip it around and fix their no power issue. Oh, I can see how that won some awards. That is a very nice ride there, Shuffle Hands. Great color scheme. Ooh, spicy. Okay, alright, very good, very nice. Let's get our diode replaced. Of course, a 46K date code on there. We expect to see it. My diode. No, we need a mentally unstable person with power. So that way, you know, it's balanced. We've got Stefan, and we've got Mike, and we've got you, Shuffle Hands, and I think there was, we gave Marvin mod. You gotta have a balance, you know? I don't think we need more unhinged, Kurt. I mean, if you want the responsibility of moderator, I'm happy to give it to you. I don't have a problem with that. But you gotta clock in at 9. You get no breaks, no lunch, no pay. You know, just because we're not live doesn't mean people can't jump in the stream chat and say whatever they want for some reason. I need mods in my chat 24/7. No, you don't need to go incognito. It's not gross or anything. It's on YouTube. It can't be that obscene, right? How do you open a private tab on Mac? I think it depends on the browser you're using. I'm not sure. Yeah, so is Elsa Gate. Okay, fair. Fair. No, you should totally look at it working with full volume turned all the way up on speaker. Look, the thing with Safari is like if you're on, like, I don't have a problem with Safari. It's alright. I don't use it on my Mac, but half the time I'm on my phone I'm using Safari because any iOS browser is restricted to being based on WebKit, which is all technically just Safari at the end of the day. So you might as well just use the native Safari browser instead of whatever broken third-party implementation of WebKit that some developer has put on there. It's alive! Which means 3629 is coming up soon. We're gonna shoot them a message and see what they... Let's see... 3629... Alright.
I'm having trouble connecting.
Yeah. We're getting there. It's Gary's turn. Gary with, yeah, no power. We're on a no power roll today. Gary. Here we go. No lights, no power. Couple of watts at the wall. That looks like the usual dead diode. Oh, I thought I was out. I've got one more. Alright, before we take this one apart, we do need to pray, because I feel like Tim's watching us right now, and he's foaming at the mouth for that blood sacrifice. Oh, Tim, please let us take this apart with no bodily harm to ourselves, and keep this HomePod and their owner safe, keep us safe. Thank you for the HomePod and everything else. Amen. Here we go. This is the dangerous part, because as you go to slice these open, there's a chance the tool slips out, and many times I have cut this part of my hand open. It's the running joke here. Tim always takes a blood sacrifice here and there, so I'd really rather not today or ever again, really. Haha. No blood for you. Not today. That's what you get for doing unauthorized repairs. We're totally authorized. We're totally legit. Haven't you seen our website? Authorized by myself. Look at me. Look at me. I'm the admin now. Yep, smells good. Smells fine. Nothing to worry about there. Look, no big YouTube channel's gonna want to collaborate with me or have anything to do with me until I have at least 3,000 subscribers. So if we get there, then I'll start doing more interesting stuff like that. I would love to make a custom colored HomePod for DankPods and mail it to him, just for it to sit in there in a box in their room for 6 months to 2-3 years until they get to it, and the capacitors have rotted out by then. But I'd like to get a little bigger before we start throwing money around like that. You guys don't want my OnlyFans. You don't want me to start an OnlyFans. Kurt is spot on, and I couldn't agree more. There's a market for everything. If you're under 18, cover your ears or leave the stream for 10 seconds. I mean, it's not even all that appropriate, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. But I have thought about, like, an OnlyFans where I, like, do HomePod repairs in my underwear or something, like, totally ridiculous like that. I don't know. My wife said she would be totally fine with it. Be like a weird Mark Rober of electronics repair. Heck, maybe I'll even bust out into song and dance here and there. Swing the schlong around. Alright, if you're under 18, you can uncover your ears and what have you. Feel free to rejoin. There is a market for everything. Why not completely naked? I mean, that's for the S tier subscribers. You have to pay big bucks for that. But in any case, no free feet. Sorry, folks. If I started an OnlyFans, I better not see you in there, Steph. I'll ban. No. You. Goodness. Name your price. No. The price is you being at least a freaking legal adult. How about that? We'll start with that, and then we can talk. Hey, I gave you a warning. Can't blame me. You guys took the chat this direction. This was all you. I'm just going along. I'm just engaging. Gosh. Nah, bro, the ChatGPT took too long to respond for him. He messed up. You still didn't tell me a price. I did tell you the price. I told you the price. The price was you being at least a legal adult, and then we can talk. I'm dead serious. I don't mess around with that. I mean, real talk, I think it's a little weird that kids as young as you and younger have such easy access to all of the that stuff. But at the same time, when I was your age, I had unfettered access to the internet in general, so it really wasn't all that much different. My parents didn't know what I was visiting, what I was looking up. I had a MySpace account for 6 months before I asked them for permission to have one. And they were like, oh yeah, of course. Of course you can have a MySpace account. Y'all remember MySpace? Gosh. MySpace is older than some of you folks. Shows my age. Yeah, I mean that's a fair point, Kurt. You nailed it. But that's funny. Yeah, I know plenty of people that didn't figure out which way their stuff swung until they were 30, 40 years old. You got time to figure it out, don't worry. No rush. Again, to be clear, not that any of this is appropriate conversations to be having with, yeah, let's move on to the next HomePod. We've got 3629 here. Let's see, after that is going to be 3630. We'll shoot them a message and let them know they're coming up here. Let's see.
I'm having trouble connecting to the...
Perfect. Alright, 3629. No power. After this is Aaron. Let's see what we've got here. No lights, no power, no nothing. A couple of watts from the wall. Beautiful. Looks like another dead diode. Let's dive in. There's so much dust. Hey, thanks for dropping by, Kurt. Catch you in another one soon. Wait, no, don't leave me here unattended with all these freaking... I can't babysit all these kids by myself. I need your help, Kurt. Don't leave me. I guess I did. I'll own it. Tell us about an interesting experience you had. I mean, I'm 30 years old. I haven't experienced a whole lot, but I've experienced a fair bit. I don't even know where to start, what to pick. I mean, I guess the freaking military is a whole experience. You could count that. When I signed up for the military, I went in as military police. And I decided to do basic and advanced military, like job-specific training as an MP all in one go. You have options. You can do basic training, which is like 9-11 weeks or something like that, and then come back home and then go back for your military job-specific training at a future date. Or you can do it all in one go. And MP was an extra like 11 to 13 weeks or something. And I think if I try to look back at my life as like time segments or like major significant chunks of time in my life, I think being in the military is like one of those biggest, most wildest, and kind of most significant ones. I mean, it's kind of surreal, first of all, because going into the military was always one of my biggest fears as a kid. And then I ended up doing it as a military police officer, of all things. And then basic training just felt like it took so long. I ended up doing... I'd have to go back and look, but for some reason, if I remember correctly, I think we ended up doing like 30 to 32 weeks of training overall between basic and AIT, and then intake and other miscellaneous delays. Like I ended up being at basic and AIT, like away from home for like a total of 30-something weeks, I think. I could be a few weeks off, but in any case, it was a long time, and it felt like it was it was the longest time I'd ever been away from home, and it's just so wild. The whole military experience is interesting. There's a thing in the if you're National Guard or Reserves, which is what I was, where you go every weekend to drill, and then 2 weeks out of the year every year you're there for a solid 2 weeks of training, and they decided to keep us for 4 weeks. But the cool thing was it was literally just go to the military base and take the keys for a patrol vehicle and go patrol for a few hours for a shift. I didn't run into anything too interesting. I mean, half the time I was just taking the Trailblazer and just hauling ass throughout the trails and the boonies out in the middle of nowhere, making sure there wasn't anybody doing anything they shouldn't. Of course, if you were in town, you were usually responding to domestic disputes, unfortunately. If you weren't pulling someone over for having expired tabs. And the new tabs are in their glove box, they just never got around to putting them on. I'll give you a ticket if you don't put them on right then and there. Well, that was a long time ago. I probably wouldn't these days. I'd give you a stern warning, but I would strongly suggest that you get your registration sorted out. Ivan with the freaking clutch tip there. Wow. Welcome to the stream. Welcome, welcome. Oh, that's good. Not false either. You want to send in 3 kids for repair and 2 for maintenance. Shipping back and forth between Serbia might get a little expensive. I don't know. Do I believe in ghosts? No, not at all. I don't believe ghosts are real. I don't believe anything in anything supernatural or paranormal. None of that. All total, absolute, complete malarkey. Now, aliens, that's a different story. Extraterrestrial beings, science and technology beyond our current understanding. I can believe that. But ghosts? No. No such thing. No such thing. We'd have evidence for it by now. We'd have clear, plain evidence for it by now. UFOs are a little more believable for us to not have much evidence for, and even then it's what's out there, debatable that there is evidence out there for it. But ghosts, nope. You will never, ever, 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 ever convince me that ghosts are real. You can tell me all the stories you want. You can tell me that a ghost drug you out of your bed by your hair and pulled you down the stairs and broke your arms and legs as a kid, and I still won't believe you. Because I was saying the same stuff. Now, don't get me wrong. I get spooked and scared as much as anyone else. But once I get over it, I'm like, okay, yeah, no ghosts. I'm gonna mute myself. Give me 1 second here. Alright. Very good, very nice. Fixed and working. On to the next one, 3630. That's going to be Aaron, and then we've got, 3514 is going to be a bricked HomePod. Are there any security risks if the software is brought up to speed using Homebrew and then I plug it into my Wi-Fi? No. 3514. Alright. Aaron with... What is this? Some bass issues, it seems. Yeah. Ooh. is quite a poppy pod there. Let's get it fixed. Tell you what, Stefan, if we can get through everything today before my wife gets home, then we'll do nothing but share planned Cancer Cube after. And you know, we've got a decent shot at that. And the subwoofer. It survived. It's good. We can reuse it. Yes. Does it still count if I kidnap your wife? Dude, if you can kidnap my wife, good luck. She's a fighter. You'll probably die trying. Dude, I don't mess with her. Alright, so in this case, unlike most of the other pods today where these filters were maintenance and that diode was the actual repair, it's the other way around for this HomePod. These filters are what actually went bad, and we're going to replace the diode preventatively. So let's get these done and then we'll knock out that diode, and that should be it for this one. Yeah, you're not far off, Shuffle Hands. Not only is she armed, but she is as tall as I am and weighs as much as I do. And I'm not fat, but I'm not skin and bones. Neither is she. We'll put up a fight. And Nick's sleeping on the couch tonight. No, I don't, son, no. We don't get like that. Things never, like, we're not the kind of couple that's like, we piss each other off to the point where someone's sleeping on the couch that night. I don't know about you, but I wouldn't get married to someone where that's a scenario, you know? No, she's a hold on here. Can't talk and do this at the same time. No, she's great though. You can't touch her. Big if true. Shuffle hands, you messed up, huh? That's okay. That's alright. You don't make yourself a target for anything for any reason. You got nothing to worry about. Now, if you start going around saying a bunch of stupid and hateful stuff, then, you know, I'd be worried about putting my name behind it. But you're cool. You're a cool, chill guy. I wouldn't worry about it. Like me. I was kind of worried about, you know, running a business and having my name out there, you know. But I try not to piss anyone off. I try to mind my business as much as I can. I try not to say anything hateful. And I think we get along pretty well. We get by pretty good. Of course, you can't prevent someone hating you for some reason at some point in your life. Like that's, yeah, but. Uh-oh, let's get that back on. Yeah, spot on. You can't avoid the haters. But something that really annoys him is just not really giving a shit. Ethan, welcome. That's one heck of a question. How do I fix HomePods? How do I fix HomePods? Goodness. I just do it. It's like, I mean, we fixed thousands of these at this point. If you're asking me how we fix them on a day-to-day basis, in the current day and age, it's highway hypnosis. I'm not conscious half the time we're working on these things. I'm somewhere else. I'm thinking of something else. I'm on autopilot working on these. How do I fix them? It's there's a few. I've got the common issues on my website. if you're trying to figure it out yourself. We've got a lot of things that we found and fixed along the way. We've got our story. You know, we've got, you know, how we what got us into all of this on my website. If you're bored, you can read through my whole website and get a pretty good picture of who we are and how we do what we do here. Basically, we a lot of it's just a bit of tinkering, a bit of sacrifice and time and effort, a little trial and error, a little bit of smarts, but a lot of just kind of trying things. I am kind of stupid in the sense that I sometimes throw a bit of money at something. Like I'll buy something in a broken condition and think that I can fix it. But when I can't, I start to get a little. I take different. There's all sorts of techniques, depending on more or less what kind of risks you want to take. If it's for me personally, I'm willing to waste a little bit of money to learn something and maybe save somebody that money in the future. It's a win-win for me. I either learn something trying to fix it, or I learn something trying to fix it and I actually fix it and I get, I fixed it and I've got something out of it. It's fixed, You should try to integrate a HomePod into an old car. Oh, yeah. I have technically done that. It's really easy. At the end of the day, all you need is a classic car inverter, so you can take your car's 12 volt and convert it to the 120 volts to plug your HomePod into the socket. If you've got your HomePod configured to allow AirPlay from anywhere, then as soon as you power it on in your car, you can connect to it from your phone and you're good to go. You've got a HomePod in your car. CarPod, AirPod, HomePod, AirPlay in the car. Where did I post a video of that? Was it a YouTube short? Did I make a YouTube short of my HomePod CarPlay? Was it a Twitter video? I can't remember. I think if Shuffle Hands is mentioning it, it was a YouTube short. Goodness. We've got a brick up next. Let's see what that's doing.
I'm having trouble
That
connecting to these.
sounds a lot better. Yes, sir. And up next is a bit of a brick. 3514. Excuse me. And last is going to be Nom. It's going to be 3622. Alright, so we've got 3514 here with the blinkies. It is a brick. And then we've got Nom with no power, I believe. Yep. So, we actually sold this fella a USB adapter already. They were having issues trying to get the software set up so they could attempt the software restore themselves. They wanted to pay me for walking them through getting the software restore working on their computer, and frankly, I would rather charge them the same amount to have them send the HomePod in and have us fix it up and give them a warranty on it at that, than charge them money for our time for potentially this to not end up being just a software issue anyways. So let's see, at the least, what's going on with this HomePod, if it can be fixed with a software restore, and then we'll give them their options from there. Y'all know the drill. We plug in our USB adapter. We've got the HomePod upside down. Then and only then we plug in our power. And we will run our magic commands to see if this is a hardware or a software issue. I also love my Apple TVs. I bought the first gen 4K, and then when they put the new one out, I bought one of those. I love it. It's so much better than the software that my smart TV comes with, and I can leave my smart TV unplugged from the internet and trust Apple that, you know, my data is reasonably private and taken care of with them. You know, everybody's got their problems, but okay. So it looks like we've already ran into a problem here with 3514. It is hanging at the NAND stage. This is a pretty common hardware error that we see with these. Quite often the solder that connects the storage chip to the logic board goes bad and it needs to be redone. This is not, unfortunately, going to be the easy route. It's going to be the slightly more expensive but still perfectly repairable route. We'll let 3514 know what's up with their HomePod and what their options are. See if they want to pay to get this fixed, or they were also talking about maybe just giving it to us or selling it to us. I'm happy to give them some money for it. But that means that we've got one more here. Let's try to get that taken care of, and then maybe we can have some fun. So we've got Nom here. Nom's got no power. Let's see if that's true. No lights, no power, no nothing here. A couple of watts from the wall there. Sure enough, it looks like the usual dead diode. Let's get it fixed. Ivan, thank you so much for dropping by. If we fixed one of your pods here on this stream, I'll follow up with you once I've gotten a chance to settle in for the night and had some dinner. We'll get you wrapped up and get your HomePod back. If not, then if you were just dropping by to watch a repair or two, thanks all the same. Interesting. Well, that's still perfectly usable. Anyone know why my AVR doesn't send the bass tones from the center channel to my subwoofer? I mean, it's... What? Usually an AVR has a dedicated subwoofer channel, so why are you feeding your subwoofer the center channel signal? Chances are the center channel is not going to have the full frequency range that your subwoofer is gonna need to give you the full experience. Are we actually going to have time for the cancer cube? Tell you what, Stefan. I mean, this is the last HomePod that we've got in the queue for today. As far as I know, my wife is at least 20 to 30 minutes away from wherever she is before she texts me letting me know she's on her way home. And she hasn't let me know that she's on her way home yet. So we've got some time to mess around once we've got this one fixed and back together. I'll tell you that. You catch me with time, you catch me with free time, I'll be in a good mood. You're telling me I've got nothing that has to be fixed, and I'm not currently on a call for work? I'll do whatever you want. You don't even have to pay me. Tips are greatly appreciated, though. Or at least a like and a subscribe. Maybe share my channel around with your friends and family. Let them know, hey, if you ever need anything fixed, consider hitting this guy up first. It costs you nothing to ask. And you're helping out a small guy. Stefan, I'm in as much of a dream state as you are right now because we just cleared a queue from everything that showed up between Friday afternoon until today. Like we fixed. This was one heck of a great stream, I tell you that. I can't even be mad about the one HomePod that's got a hardware issue that we can't restore. This was a great stream. Nothing but fixes. Oh, shit. I didn't even realize we have been streaming for 3 hours now. That is... I'm surprised we've been able to not only go for this long, but that we've still got time left. I did not answer your AVR question, Shufflehands. I don't really know what exactly is going on, but I also don't really know exactly how your stuff is set up, what you've got, how it's all wired up. The problem you have sounds interesting, but it probably boils down to either you've got something wired wrong or your codec of choice is just not playing well with your surround sound configuration. So you, instead of, you might want to switch between, you might want to try PCM, DTS, Dolby, what have you. You're just going to have to mess with it. Especially with home theater AVRs. There's generally not going to be a one-size-fits-all setting. You're going to have presets depending on what you're doing. Are you watching a video where someone's talking most of the time? Are you watching a movie? Are you listening to music? Dolby Pro. Yeah, I don't know how I'm not a huge fan of a lot of the Dolby stuff. I tend to prefer DTS or just straight up PCM audio. Toslink optical audio is still the way to go if you're not doing it all over HDMI CEC. That would explain it. My wife didn't text me, but she is, the timing. Stefan, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, but this is all the time that we've got. At least we got everything fixed. I'm so sorry. Hopefully we can at least make sure this is working before she gets out of the car. Oh, that's cursed. That is absolutely cursed. We have 3 hours and we ran out of time. Oh, I don't normally feel bad, but I do feel bad this time, Stefan. I'm sorry. We will make it up to you.
I'm having trouble connecting to the
Show me those beautiful volume buttons.
I'm having trouble.
You freaking waste of time. Let me tell you that. Show me those volume buttons. Ask her for 10 more minutes. I can't pause. No, I can't do that to her. She's had that kid for so long today. I can't ask her for 10 more minutes. That's cursed. That's rude. Oh, but at least we got everything fixed up today. Folks, I hope you all enjoyed this live stream repair. Stefan, we will make it up to you. Everyone else, I hope you all enjoyed this live stream repair. and I hope to catch you in the next one.